What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my experience specifically driving the brand new Model 3. I have had a lot of hype over my Tesla Model S video where I am actually telling people I believe it's a better buy to buy a used Tesla Model S than to go with the 3. Now that the brand new one is out, I have had an opportunity to drive it, test drive it, run it through the paces, and now this is my official report back. I'm not going to be talking about all of the new features that the Model 3 has. I am personally sick and tired of seeing those videos. We get it. It has ambient lighting. We get it. It has ventilated seats. We're aware of the suspension. But I have a strong stance that perception is reality. And what I mean by that is that when you, the consumer, step behind the wheel of a product, it doesn't matter what the official 0 to 60 time is. It's about your perception. Is it quick? Suspension. It doesn't matter what the specs are. It matters how it feels to you. Perception is reality. So if you're someone that's watched my other video, or maybe you want to watch that video first and see some of the reasons why I selected a used Model S instead of going with the Model 3, this is just simply an update video now that the new Model 3 is released. And so with that, we'll go ahead and get into it. I have a couple points here we're going to be going through. My thoughts on the suspension versus the Model S, legroom versus the Model S, cabin noise versus the Model S, sound system, responsiveness of the center screen, new ventilated seats and seat comfortability, and which is a better buy coming at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and hop into suspension. I like to keep things short and to the point. It is noticeably better than the old Model 3. I have been referring to it as a soft, firm suspension. So it is very comfortable. It is much more soft and noticeably smoother than the previous Model 3. And I would actually say, although it is for sure not as good as a Model S air suspension, I can pretty much guarantee you will not have any major difference or major qualms, I guess, if you were to sit down in the Model 3 and go for a drive. I don't think you're going to be like, man, I really miss my air suspension. It's pretty close. Legroom. This is something hands down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. A Model 3 is like a Honda Civic, and the Model S is like a Honda Accord. There is just simply more legroom in the Model S. Again, I don't know what the official specs are on the Model 3 versus the Model S. It might be 2 inches of difference, but for me, and because of the way that the interior is set up, my leg was continuously running into the the door handle where you push the button to open the door in the Model 3. And on the right-hand side, the Model S, the center console area is actually slightly lowered. In the Model 3, it's actually raised. And so what that means is you kind of feel more like squished in from the bar on the right-hand side versus the door handle on the left-hand side. For me, it was a noticeable difference, quite a bit of a noticeable difference. And the key point, though, that I want to point out here is the back seat. If you sit in the back seat of a Model 3, I highly encourage you to do that. If you are in the market for the brand new Model 3, sit in the back, go for a test drive. It is tiny back there. It's cool to have the screen. Again, the Model 3 looks so much better than it used to. They've clearly upgraded it across the board. And again, not hating on the Model 3. If you're in the market for a Honda Civic sized car, it's going to fit the bill. Do I have to sit in the back seat? No, I don't have to sit in the back seat. But when people are back there, I guarantee you that they will feel tight. Getting in and out in the Model 3 has remained a better experience than in the Model S. The Model S is very low to the ground. The Model 3 might be just as low, but however they've designed the seats in that, I feel like I'm falling into my Model S, which means getting out is like I'm like pulling myself out. That's why this little area that's over here on the, I believe it's called the B pillar, that typically gets kind of wrecked. It gets scraped up because people lean into it to get up out of the Model S. The Model 3, it's a much better experience getting in and out of it. So that is definitely something, even in the curves. So I hit my head on this curve sometimes. In the Model 3, that's not an issue. You can just get right in and out. Now moving forward to cabin noise. Again, so I actually went on a road trip to Tampa, which is about a 3 or 4 hour trip from where I'm located. I went with my wife in the Model 3. We drove the Model 3 for about a week, talking about the old Model 3. My wife, who doesn't give a crap about cars whatsoever, specifically brought up on our road trip, oh my gosh, it's loud in here. I feel like I'm having to yell to have a conversation with you. And I agree. It felt very tin canny in the old Model 3. The new one, you can tell that they have in fact made improvements on that. I hopped on the highway. I went 85 miles an hour. It was actually an exceptionally windy day. I have footage of all this stuff that I'm talking about. I don't know how much I'll splice in because I don't know if it's necessary or not of just me driving it. But point being, it is much improved. I would actually say it's similar caliber to the Model S. Like I didn't find myself thinking, oh my gosh, this is so loud. It was very reasonable, and I think they did a great job on that. Okay, so getting into the sound system. Now, again, remember, I'm talking about specifically a used Model S. So we're talking like 2018, 2017, 2016 range versus the brand new Model 3. Sound system on the brand new Model 3 is bumping. It is for sure better than the sound system I have in my Model S. It might even be 4 times better, and I'm not joking. After sitting in there, it's actually something I'm going to look into and see how quickly and easily I could upgrade the sound system in here. It made me realize just how lacking my Model S was from that standpoint. If you're someone that's considering a 2020 or a 2021 Model S, you're probably not going to have that issue in terms of the sound quality. But if you're someone who loves a sound system, boom, Model 3 brand new one is bumping. It's kicking the butt of my Model S. Okay, last couple things here. Responsiveness of the center screen. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Anyone who talks about there being some crazy delay in the center console screen is either using an MCU1, which I do not have. I have an MCU2 in my Model S. But anyone with an MCU2 and greater, the snappiness of the brand new screens versus the MCU2, which again, I believe started shipping in like 2017. So 2017 onward, it's nothing. I can say a voice command, it immediately pops up. I can say a voice command to navigate me somewhere, it immediately pops up. um all of it, the games, it's all super snappy. I still don't see any fighting reason of why people try to claim that the brand new systems are so much snappier. They're just not. And again, perception's reality. If you're someone who is used to, I don't know, like a 240 refresh rate on your computer monitor or something, maybe you're going to see that. It's just not a big deal. It would shock me if it becomes a big deal for you. So that still remains the same even on the brand new Model 3. Seats, gotta say, ventilated seats are nice. I've had ventilated seats in all of my vehicles. This is the first vehicle I've had in a long time that didn't have ventilated seats. I miss it. It's great on the brand new Model 3. But the new Model S does actually have ventilated seats as well. So if you're in the market for a newer Model S, I'm not saying brand new, but newer, then you're still going to have that ability in the Model S. But it is nice to have. Also, the seats, again, I don't know if they changed them up in terms of the cushioning and things like that, but I did personally believe that they felt a little bit better. For me, I've talked about this in my other video, but they felt a little bit firmer, which is good for me because I've got some back issues. And so that's why I've always liked the Model S seats, because they're a little bit firmer than what you see in the Model 3 or the Model Y. It seems like they firmed them up a little bit, but admittedly, I didn't get to go on like a 4-hour trip. That's normally the indicator for me that seals the deal on what things feel like. Okay, so last up, which is the better buy? Um, you know, I'm just a guy. I don't know what you think about my opinion, but here's a couple reference points that I brought up that I thought would be helpful. The brand new Model 3, as it currently sits, as recording this video, is $47,000, and that is specifically for the I don't think they necessarily classify it as the long range, but it is the beefed up one. So this is the one that'll go 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. Which, quick aside on that, my Model S will do 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. They felt identical. I didn't feel any difference. They're both super fast. I think they're great. But as far as the cost, $47,000 currently without any kind of tax credits. 340 miles of range roughly for that. 8-year warranty, 120,000 miles. Just throwing it out there again, because this is the boat that I was in. I still like the look of the Model S a lot better than the Model 3. It is greatly enhanced, I'm not going to lie. But I think just Honda Civic size vehicles are not necessarily for me. So I do believe that a used Model S is still a better buy. And here's my reasoning behind it. So I just happened to pull up Car Gurus, did a search for Model S. I could get a 2021, so in my opinion, hardly old at all, around 48,000 miles for $46,000 versus $47,000 for the brand new Model 3. This is when warranty discussions come into play. The Model S, a 2021 Model S, has an 8-year unlimited mile warranty on it. So what does that mean? That means that the warranty discussion does not come into play here because they both are going to be well within warranty for the duration of you owning the vehicle. It would shock me if you even end up owning your vehicle 8 years. And so that means for 2021, you got 8 years. You've got 8 years and you could pay less or essentially the same as what you would pay for that brand new Model 3. So the deal gets even sweeter if you're like me and you buy an older one. So now you're getting into 2020, 2019 land, still having an 8-year warranty for your battery and your motors. The cost obviously gets cheaper. So that $46,000 drops. You can actually get Model S's in the $30,000, $28,000 range, depending on what it is you're looking for. So I hope that's maybe helpful for you if you're considering these cars and you feel the way I do, where you think the Model S is a little sweeter looking, but you've always thought, oh man, that's a crazy expensive car. I can't afford it. If you get used, you're still in a great spot. You're covered with warranty. You got all the same features, the same snappiness, the same speed. I mean, the only thing you're really missing out on is ambient lighting. It charges a little bit slower. And on, by the way, I didn't mention it, but on the 2021 long range Model S, that's 400 miles of range versus the 340 miles of range that you have. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. This clearly always sparks interesting conversation. Maybe there's some other things that I'm missing that I'm not aware of, but I like to think I'm quite involved in the Tesla community in terms of what's out there and what you can get. Let me know if you feel differently. Let me know if you've test driven the new Model 3. If you haven't, go test drive it. I'll even include a link down below that actually will help both of us out. It'll give us some credits that we can get some swag on the Tesla store. But a test drive is completely free, and I'm actually about to make a video about what that experience is like taking a test drive. To my surprise, there is no pushy salesman attitude at all. You're in and out the door. It's awesome. So I hope that's helpful. I'll let you guys get back to it and have a great day. Thanks.